You are not hard to love, Queen. You're just unlearning the version of love that asks you to survive it. There's a certain kind of beginning that doesn't feel like a beginning at all. It feels like destiny. He walks into your life softly, but somehow the whole room changes. His presence hits you in a way that makes you feel seen, understood, connected. The intensity, the vulnerability, the conversation that lasts until midnight, all of it feels so good. It feels too aligned to question. And then, slowly something shifts. Not enough to call. Not enough to call it out, but you feel something. Not enough to excuse him. Not enough to label it. Just enough that your body feels it. A slight delay in the text, a softness that disappears, a tone that tightens, a rhythm that suddenly loses its rhythm. And just like that, the beginning that felt like destiny turns into a middle that feels like work. Your heart leans in even more because your mind starts scanning for signs and your body starts negotiating with itself. And somewhere inside, a familiar ache wakes up, an ache you've carried for longer than you've known this man. Walk with me here, Queen. We're not just talking about him today. We're talking about the part of you that bonded to chaos because it resembled what once kept you safe. Right? That's what we're going to be discussing because it's so true. So come in, sit with me, sit down, take a seat. Let your breath flow, let your chest loosen. You're not here to be judged. You are here to be understood. This conversation is tender. This conversation is sacred. And you are ready for it. All right? All right, get comfortable. So if you're ready to stop confusing intensity with intimacy and to build a relationship with your own peace, go ahead and subscribe now so you never lose access to the messages that are anchoring you back to yourself, right? I want you to know that when you give me your time, I give you my best. That's our promise to each other. So get comfortable, take a seat, because we're going to dive right in. Today's message is very powerful, and it definitely will impact you. We're touching the quiet part of you today, the part that reacts when someone pulls back, the part that tightens when love becomes inconsistent, the part that bonds deeper the moment the ground becomes unstable. And as we walk through this together, you're going to start seeing where chaos became familiar, where peace became foreign, it just left the building, and what happens inside you when a man offers intensity before he offers consistency. By the end of this message, Queen, chaos and drama won't feel like love anymore. It'll simply feel like what it always was, familiar but not for you. All right? Let's start. When chaos, right? When it becomes normal. There's a version of you, the younger you, who learned to measure safety not by calm, but by how well she could predict instability. Maybe the adults around you were inconsistent, unpredictable, emotionally volatile, warm one moment, cold the next, loving on good days and distant on bad ones. Your nervous system never got to rest, so it learned to stay ready. And when a child stays ready long enough, an adult emerges who cannot relax. All right, take that in, because this is where the bond to chaos begins, not from desire, but familiarity. Your body knows chaos. Your body has survived it. Your body understands it completely. Calm, on the other hand, calm feels suspicious. Sacred silence or a pause, that's not common. Ask yourself, who taught you to pay attention to shifts instead of your own needs? Who? We have to untangle this web. So let me show you what this looks like in real life. You meet a man who comes in strong. He's attentive, he's expressive, he's available. He's open in ways that feel safe. He makes you feel chosen without you having to earn it. And you exhale, right? Maybe for the first time in a long time. Then slowly the energy changes. He takes a little longer to reply. He's less warm, less intentional, less consistent. The conversations get shorter. The emotional depth disappears. The beginning version of him vanishes quietly. He walks out the door quietly, without explanation. And here's the part that matters. Your body responds faster than your mind does. Your thoughts start racing. Did I do something wrong? Is he losing interest? Like, what's going on? Did I imagine the connection? Was it real? What should I do to get the closeness back? But it's your body that activates those old loops. Your chest tightens, your breath shortens, your stomach knots. You overfunction to restore the beginning. Why? Because that shift, that sudden instability, feels more familiar than the consistency did. All right? He didn't become your source of chaos. He became the mirror of chaos you never got to heal. Right there. Right there. And the reason why the intensity feels like connection is because chaos doesn't pull you in because it's exciting. It pulls you in because it resembles home. Let's touch this. Let's touch on this. Gently but honestly, when you grew up in emotional turbulence, your body learned to equate the following: tension with closeness, unpredictability with care, inconsistency with interest, intensity with connection, and anxiety with importance. Your nervous system isn't seeking chaos, it's seeking what it recognizes. This is why men who treat you well sometimes feel off, feel boring. And men who destabilizes you, they feel magnetic. There's chemistry there. Not because they're good for you, but because their instability matches an old emotional blueprint. Where in your life did intensity take the place of affection? Think about it. Your mother may have carried this too, but you're the one who gets to break the pattern, right? You're the one to get to reset the lineage. If this message is helping you see yourself with softness instead of shame, make sure you're subscribed so these insights continue to steady your spirit week by week by week. All right? So let's continue. Let's move on. I'm going to give you some real world practices that you can, do every day. And here's what this looks like. When you feel that familiar pull towards someone whose behavior destabilizes you, the correction isn't to shut down. It isn't to judge yourself. It isn't to overthink. The correction is to pause, because the pause interrupts the pattern. It interrupts the loop, right? Here's a thrown skill. Pause before you personalize. When he gets quieter, you pause. When his energy shifts, you breathe. When he becomes inconsistent, you observe. When he withdraws, you stay anchored in your body, not his behavior. This pause stops your younger self from grabbing the steering wheel. This pause reminds your nervous system that you are not in danger. This pause gives you clarity instead of confusion, right? Now walk with me through a real life shift, a real life scenario you may go through. You're not trying to win someone back. You're not trying to rescue the beginning. You're not trying to restore intensity. You are choosing stability. You are choosing clarity. And you're choosing yourself. Right? Ask yourself, what would your life feel like if calm became your new normal? Just think about it. What would your life feel like if calm became your new normal? And here's a moment where everything reconnects. When peace no longer feels foreign to you or feels strange, chaos stops feeling like home. When consistency stops feeling boring, you stop romanticizing turbulence. When you no longer mistake adrenaline for affection, you begin attracting men who love you gently, steadily, and clearly. You're not breaking a dating pattern. You are breaking a nervous system inheritance, right? You weren't drawn to chaos. You survived it. You weren't addicted to intensity. You adapted to it. And now, Queen, you're choosing a love that doesn't make you flinch, that doesn't make you tense, that doesn't make you wonder and guess, right? If today's message helped you understand yourself a little deeper or help you soften toward your younger you, subscribe before you go. So peace becomes a place you operate from, not the place you visit. It becomes your home. As always, stay blessed and stay crowned. Have a great day, Queen.